Starting something, the pain is front loaded. Like, it's going to be hard, dude. It's not f***ing easy. And someone that tells you that it's easy, they're lying. It is not easy. It can get easy. It does become easier. Eventually you get to the point where you have people working for you, and then it's even easier, you know? And you can get to the point that it's 4 or 5 hours of work a day, and it's enjoyable work, and you're making more money in a month than you've made in a year. Like, that is definitely doable. But it is hard on the front end. And part of the reason it's hard is because, not even that it's actually difficult, it's because you don't know whether or not you can do it. And you're unsure. And so you're constantly in this thing. Whereas, like, for me, it's easy. I'm like, I've done this a million times. I know how to do this very well. Like, yeah, it's difficult to do, but it's like, I've done it before. I mean, I guess a good analogy would be like running a marathon for the first time versus the 50th time, where you're like, yeah, I've done this a bunch. I know how to do this. I know how to pace myself. I'm fine. The first time you're like, am I going to make it? And that is emotionally challenging. You know, it's really interesting. I was listening to something about why so few people start businesses. And so some people think it's risky, but it's like, look, the fact of the matter is tying all of your income to one thing is more risky than diversifying your income across other things. So just from a very high level, being an entrepreneur, you have more income streams, and so you have less risk. So it's like standard portfolio diversification, which I'm sure you're aware of. Everyone knows that. That's why you do index funds. You get diversified across a bunch of different companies, a bunch of different industries, and that protects you. So it's not even the risk that keeps people from doing it. Outside of, like, you got to be this tall to ride the ride. Like, you've got to have your bills paid and, you know, have a little bit of money saved so that you can do it. It's the uncertainty. So when you have a job, you go in and people tell you, like, just do this and just do this, and you're used to it, and you can always go in and have a pretty okay day because you know what needs to get done, and it's very clear. You check the boxes, you get this done, and it's a good day. Okay. When you're running your own thing, you can work the entire day and then realize that you were working on the wrong thing and you wasted your entire time. And then that can happen for a week, you know? And it's like, people, in my experience, people do not like being uncertain for long stretches of time. They like certainty, they crave security. So when I say that it's hard on the front end, it's like, yeah, there's uncertainty. Like, you'll get some certainty when you have a coach, when you have a guide, you have a teacher. They're helping break it down. They're helping explain, like, do this step, do this step, do this step, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, do this, do this, do this. But running in the background is, can I make it? Can I make it? Can I not make it? Can I make it? Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I won't. It's like, that's exhausting. So that's part of why when I talk to someone about launching, I'm like, why? Like, what is it that you really want out of this? Because I don't want to make it seem like it's going to be some easy ride in the beginning. Like, eventually it will be, but until you close the first one, you're gonna have uncertainty, you know? And so there's so many that I'm like, I'm just driving towards a result, because I'm like, once you get it once, the switch is flipped and you're like, oh, I can do this. And now everything else is easier. So it's good to know, like, why a person really wants to do it and what they want to get out of it.